got to try and draw this game, unless he gets some chances, of course. And he's got to get that last game out of his mind, because he probably put it on the computer engine afterwards. Or you could see his reaction. He was very upset with himself. So he's got to distance himself away from what happened there and that draw offer. Garry Kasparov, it can get very sharp there, and he has played it. I'm really happy to see this move. It's very exciting, and Magnus playing in the centre, so we could get a mainline King's Indian defence. And I'd always been interested to see what Magnus has against the King's Indian defence here. He's going to have something. We have the main line. This is great to see.
I can
really exciting.
Feel you salivating, Simon. You're excited.
Yeah, I am really excited.
So I think we have to jump in. Just a quick action replay of what's happened. This is the current position. We left the game around here. Black struck out in the centre, and Magnus was happy after an attack on the Black Queen to simply kind of trade off in the centre. The fighting move here would have been stepping forward, proper King's Indian style, where Black would attack on the King side, White on the Queen side. But Magnus, remember, he's leading in the match, so he takes the safe option. And Queen to C1, really sneaky, lining up on this diagonal, trying to kick back the Black Knight next move. And this is how we got that structure. Pawn to C5, a sacrifice. If the Black Knight takes this pawn, then White is doing pretty well after Knight to D5, hitting this pawn and unleashing an attack against the Black Knight. So instead, C6 and a trade. And now I think everything on the King side, kind of this half of the board, looks pretty balanced, pretty kind of level. It's all about the other flank. And I'm looking at these black pawns, I'm thinking those are ugly. Okay, Magnus first kicks back the Black Knight and then centralizes his rook. If he can somehow maneuver one of these two knights into the beautiful D6 square, long term, Magnus is simply winning. But Hikaru, of course, has 3 or 4 moves to fight against that. He starts by hitting this pawn.
You pointed this out, knight d2, knight c4, get that knight onto that d6 square, a plan that has been stopped right now by Magnus's move, knight e8, and f5 is on the board. This is going to get chaotic.
I think you might have to just take this black pawn before it continues advancing. But, OK, there we go, a trade of pawns. At least now you've held up that kind of pawn push temporarily. White's queen being on the same diagonal as the Black King. A little awkward pin there for Hikaru. And now another pin. Simon, this move, rook to e1. It looks like Magnus has lost a bit of time. He's kind of yo-yoed back and forth with the white rook, but he's lining up.
David, your idea after e4, and then you can sacrifice on e4. So there are a lot of these tricks that actually exist in the position. e4, knight e4 suddenly becomes game.
Getting out of the way, getting out of dodge, queen f7 looks very healthy.
And then he gets into this risk-free endgame, and then just lets Magnus off the hook.
End the games too quickly, who don't fight to the bitter end, who don't take kind of principled, active, aggressive decisions. And yeah, Nakamura offering a draw in that last game, kind of showing them, OK, I'm the one trying to win, I'm the one trying to win. You're just playing for a draw at the very best. And OK, we'll see. History is, of course, written by the winners. Hikaru right now looks like he's in a bit of trouble on the board. I love what Magnus has been doing. He's slowly maneuvered. It's taken 2 moves, but he's brought his knight round to the king side, starting to hint at those threats as we highlighted as well. And OK, the king does drop back. I'm expecting your move on the board, Simon.
And he does play it immediately. I think Black's only move is to play e4 here, but it looks kind of loose, right? OK, he's just defended his pawn in a sensible way, but everything is just hanging on for Black here.
And if Magnus actually is able to convert this one, that's just match over for Hikaru. That's a collapse of the match for Hikaru. Magnus in driver's seat right now. The bishop has dropped back to d2, so ideas of rerouting the bishop to the other diagonal. You want to put it to c3. Again, target that central e5 pawn, trying to get rid of Black's dark-squared bishop.
And try to start an attack, but you can never do this because the g6 square is just too weak.
It's on the board.
It's on.
Whoa!
Really? Is he giving up the queen?
What's happened here?
What is happening here? Wow, he's randomising.
He's gambling. Hikaru Nakamura. This is going to land with a check. I think this is almost guaranteed at this point. Magnus will give this check. The difference here is it's not game over. It's not checkmate, because this time the king can use the g8 square, which was liberated by the black rook last turn, and he's just giving up material here.
I kind of like the idea, because he's got to take a risk, but it's hard to get away with such a move against Magnus Carlsen, right? I mean, against me, easy, but I mean, not against Magnus. And What does he play here then?
Kind of controlled himself. He's paused here. He's calculating. But that line, there we go, knight to h5. It's very linear. It's very direct. And suddenly, look at Hikaru's reaction. Knight h5 landed on the board. He looked away in disgust. And he now realized that the bishop to f5 does not work. The move he was relying upon, it looked like a double attack, but White's queen would just capture on f5. And that fork, all those kind of trades lead to a winning endgame for White. And that's why the bars got so excited. Hikaru in huge trouble.
Yeah, I don't think he'll make it for the next couple of moves in this one. He does fall back with the bishop, so not allowing the trade on g7. Does White have time now to actually just get greedy with that rook on f8? Knight f8, is that what you just go for and ask Black to actually show what compensation you've got?
Knight takes rook, looks promising. Knight takes bishop, looks promising. This pawn is collapsing. Magnus spoilt for choice, and he does go for the material. He does play g4.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm pretty sure he's made of AI, Magnus Carlsen.
You said AI, artificial intelligence. It's absolutely insane, is the AI that I think of when you think about Magnus.
Flashy move there from Hikaru, but White zooms in with a check. And I think we will see the final flourishes on this game. White's knight saves itself. White is up a whole exchange and a pawn. And Black's king side in tatters.
While Jan Nepomniachtchi continues in the winner's bracket.
Might even be something stronger, but it looks horrendous. And the queen instead. This is also going to be a killer blow.
Magnus and his queen moves. Tell me a better love story.
Yeah.
He loves his queens.
Especially in the center of the board. I don't know how they always end up on these amazing squares. White's, well, Magnus's queens in particular. It gives a check. Black's king sidelined. And, okay, under 1 minute, but of course, it's those queens again. She lines up against the Black king. And Hikaru now threatened with a devastating discovered check. The White bishop hoping to jump out the way next move, and what to do, how to defend.
I guess White's, yeah, and Hikaru has played it. He's got to get away from that check. And how does White now finish this off? I mean, 3 pieces attacking against an exposed king is normally enough, but it feels like you might need 1 more. Okay, the knight is now aiming for a better square, and a rook coming to g3 where the knight just came from is also going to be terminal here. So Hikaru doing his best, but he's doing his best in a very bad situation. He didn't do that, and, well, it's creaking now.
And I'm expecting your maneuver here. There we go. Magnus plays it instantly. The white rook swings up and across.
Is this the moment where he's going to have to go down into the lower bracket? He's holding on a little bit more, but, oh, they're getting in each other's way as well, those pieces. And, you know, every white piece is piling over. 20 seconds each. I mean, you can still blunder. You might as well play on.
Yeah, we saw some mouse slips. We saw some crazy turnarounds in the Speed Chess Championship final. So never say never. Hikaru doing the right thing and fighting on. Never resign too early. Never offer a draw too early either. But this one, he's fighting to the bitter end. The problem is his bishop disappears and now Magnus...
Queen e7, knight f6.
He has a check.
He's got to go king g6.
You've got to go king g6.
Oh, but this check could be a killer. Magnus using geometry here. Loose pieces drop off. The black queen undefended. I think after one more accurate check here, the black king will be forced to a square. The white knight can jump out the way. The black queen would have dropped.
And that's the one. Queen d7 check.